Yo, 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 what's good? What's good? What's popping? What's popping? All right, I'm live for another one. It's funny because I've been, browsing through different videos, right? And I came across this one person's video. Shout out to this content creator called the Filipina P. Okay, she's a Filipino woman, born, raised, and still live in the Philippines, and she make videos concerning she make videos educating males in other countries about the mindset of Filipino women and dating Filipino women and just things that concerning things about the Philippines, right? So I'm gonna get to it. I'm gonna get to it. Hold on for a minute. For a minute. Hold on. Hold on. I'm going to. I can show you better than I can tell you. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you one of her videos, right? As a matter of fact, I'm going to post the link to one of her videos in the chat right now. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to share the screen, Chrome tab, and all right. Hold on for a minute. Let me get my secret weapon. Fair use, fair use, fair use. This video is being used for criticism purposes only, which is legal under Chapter 1, Section 107 of the Copyright Law of the United States of America. All right. Therefore, the owner of this YouTube channel does not promote or condone the sale of this content without permission from the owner of this content. All right. So let me play this video. Let's pay attention.
Be here. And as most people know, feminism and the women's movement began back in a time when women were denied the right to vote and often kept out of the workforce. So attempting to secure more rights served a legitimate purpose. But after successive waves of modern feminism crashed over Western culture, all they're accomplishing now is to perpetuate.
So this Filipino woman, once again called the Filipina P. She has her own channel on YouTube, and she's speaking about feminism and is it rising in the continent of Asia, specifically the Philippines. So I'll continue playing.
A gender war with no winners, harming the family unit, and tearing at the very fabric of society. The purpose of the women's rights movement was achieved a long time ago, yet it continues to cause problems between the sexes, resulting in many men looking east to find their relationships. I've received hundreds of messages from viewers that worry about toxic feminism reaching Asian shores, believing that it was only a matter of time before the movement poisoned the women here as well. So today, I'll be asking Filipinas themselves and what they think about it, and offering my prediction on the future of feminism in Asia.
Once again, fair use, fair use, fair use.
Before we begin, I'd like to ask you for a small favor. If you want to have the performance of this video and my channel, please take just 2 seconds to hit the thumbs up and subscribe buttons, as well as that little bell symbol, so I can let you know whenever I release a new video. Thank you in advance. If you ask the average person for their definition of feminism, you're likely to hear the familiar phrase, equal rights. And who could argue with that? But is that really what's going on? Or is it just a slogan that's been hijacked, a false banner, flying over a much more insidious philosophy? If it's actually about equal rights, then I have to wonder, the right to do what? Name one thing a woman already doesn't have the right to do. To vote, work, and drive? The pay gap was proven to be bogus. So what is it they really want? Power, my friends. domestic, political, and economic. And you know it. That's often one of the main reasons you're coming here. I don't know what I'd do if I were in your situation, but considering a woman of the Asian persuasion would probably be on the list. So men are looking east to places like the Philippines for a more traditional relationship. But are they just temporarily escaping a pack of wolves that's hot on their heels no matter where they go? Is feminism making its way east? Well, like any bacteria, feminism thrives best in conditions that allow it to grow and spread. But in my opinion, the Philippines is like a dry desert for this particular infection. And that's because it's a totally different situation in this part of the world. And here's why. No matter how you try to package it, Western feminism has a very obvious financial component, like the seizing of wealth once a marriage is over. Well, that won't work here, since there's no wealth to grab, no divorce. We have airtight prenuptial agreements, and the courts don't particularly favor either party. A Filipina dragging her husband to court in an attempt to squeeze money out of him has better odds of getting blood from a mango. And you can't tell Filipinas that they're being frozen out of the good jobs by the patriarchy because it's obvious to everyone that it's the women who have the jobs in the first place and bring home most of the paychecks. So screaming about how Asian women need more rights.
And what she just said is something I have an issue with because if that's true in the Philippines, what she just said is that in the Philippines, the majority of people who are employed are females. And to me, it's not that I have a problem with females being employed because I don't. But if the majority of females in that country, if the majority of employed people in that country are females, and the minority of the people in that country who are employed are males, then to me that's an issue. So that's one of the problems that, like in what she said, it's one of the problems I have, you know. And in this video, I wrote in the comments section the question: why is it that the majority of employed people in your country are females? Because I'm real, I'm real curious to know why. Because if that's the case, right, then there is a flaw within the system in the Philippines. If that's the case, but I'll continue watching. I'll continue playing the video.
Just sounds silly
I already
and
watched it.
isn't going to produce any positive results. Another reason that feminism won't take root here is demographical. A large supply of available women, like we have here, works against feminism. It's the simple law of supply and demand. And it's hard to go making demands when there's so much supply. If I were the last woman on earth, I could pretty much ask for whatever I wanted. But with millions of my Android clones set to hit the market, my bargaining power is greatly reduced. Funny how that works. Another reason feminism won't take hold here is because it's completely disorganized. Except on rare occasions in big cities, women won't be marching down the streets wearing pink hats here, because calling attention to yourself is a very un-Asian thing to do. And we prefer to resolve issues.
I'm surprised that the so-called black manosphere, haven't haven't caught up on her yet. This female, and I'm sure that she'll eventually, the so-called black man will eventually catch up on her, and then people gonna start making videos talking about how she's a pick me, she's lying, all this other bullshit. Now, I don't know if she's lying or I don't know if she's sincere or she's not sincere or she's probably just making content for the love of the money. Maybe she is. Maybe it is some pick me shit, or maybe she is being genuine. But the fact of the matter is, this video is very interesting. So I'll continue playing.
Without antagonizing each other. And finally, feminism won't become a big deal here because we've already achieved its goals organically, without conflicts, marches, name calling, or punishing men along the way. The following is from last year's World Economic Forum and their Global Gender Gap Report, which states that the Philippines is now ranked the top country in all of Asia for women's equality. And apparently, we did it without a vocal feminist movement. The rankings are made on the basis of 4 different categories. The first is employment participation. And we got that covered easily because, as I said earlier, it's mostly the women that have the jobs here. Been that way for a long time. The next is educational attainment. And the same thing is true. It's the women who are getting most of the college and professional degrees. Been that way for a long time. The third category is called health and survival.
Yeah, and once again, that's something that makes me curious. No, I'm not against females, receiving, getting their education and receiving equal education opportunities. But why is it in the Philippines that it's the females that consist of the majority of educated people in that country? How come the males make up the minority of educated people in that country? You know, is that a systemic problem or something? Like America, where there is a systemic problem within the public education system here in this country. This is which is one of the major contributors to boys doing far worse than girls in places of education. But once again, the video this video is interesting. It's pretty interesting, you know. But she make a lot of good points though. She make a lot of good points concerning what feminism was originally about in the West to what it have become to now. Because originally, and I believe this, that originally feminism started off with good intent, like most movements, right? Like most socio-political movements. It started off with good intent, with the intent in giving giving the female gender more rights to participate in this system. But over time, it got corrupted. It got corrupted and psyoped by those who use the feminist agenda to actually gain power in society and gain power over the male gender. So over time, I believe feminism got corrupted. But I'll continue playing this video. What the hell? Hold on for a minute. All right. Move this.
The medical facilities in the Philippines are actually pretty good. And women have the same access as men do. We also have access to birth control here, although most of us voluntarily choose not to use it. And isn't feminism all about a woman's right to choose? The only category we seem to be lacking in is called political empowerment. But when you take a look at how it's measured, it's just a simple quota system that looks at the percentage of women in the government and totally ignores the nature of men and women. The only thing that's important is that women have an equal opportunity to run for office, which we do. But demanding that women make up half the government or any other field, it's ridiculous. Now, I run the risk of angering other women when I say this, but it's true. There are actually differences in men and women that make the sexes better at different tasks. Men are better in positions that require a more aggressive and decisive nature and thinking outside the box, where women perform better in fields involving communication, networking, and multitasking. So I really wouldn't want to see people forced into positions they're not the best at, just for the sake of some stupid numbers game. Women might not.
Well, yeah. To degenerate Sharingan. Well, the second wave of feminism had some questionable, shady roots. Well, even the first wave, to a degree, I can agree with that. To a degree, when you got Gloria Steinem, one of the biggest icons of the second wave of feminism, originally working for the CIA, all of a sudden she's this big time activist for the feminist movement, And of course, you have people like, what's that? Susan B. Anthony, one of the biggest icons of the first wave of feminism that started, I think, in the 1840s, who actually it's been proven that she was a racist and didn't give a flying fuck about the state of so-called black people in America at the time that were mostly enslaved. All right, even though you had a large portion of feminists that were also abolitionists, but Susan B. Anthony, it was on record that she didn't even care about the state of so-called black people, and even at a time where I think Frederick Douglass was debating whether or not so-called black people should be free and have rights. I read from a book where Susan B. Anthony publicly argued that females, well, specifically Caucasian females, their rights should be, it should be a bigger concern to America than the rights of so-called black people. So some of the roots are shady, but the thing is, as far what I'm talking about when it comes to feminism is as far as the intentions of giving the female gender more participation in this system started off with good intentions, but it got psy-opted later on by females who wanted to use the feminist movement to create this matriarchal society for where females gain power over the male gender. I believe it got psy-opted and corrupted decades later. But I'll continue playing this video.
Hold half of the elected positions. But the system is still perfectly fair if they want to run. Equality of opportunity is the goal, not equality of outcome. Trying to impose a system where 50% of engineers and mathematicians are female and half of all nurses and school teachers are male is a fool's errand. And that's something that Western feminists just don't get. They smell inequality and sexism under every bed. And that's not the way forward for any happy society. We should embrace our differences, not attempt to cancel them. So, what do Filipinas actually think about all this? Is feminism gaining steam in this part of the world? I interviewed some random people to hear what they had to say.
I am still a student taking up Bachelor of Science in Civil Engineering. So, Fritch. Um, I am 22 years old and I am still a student taking up Bachelor of Science in Civil Engineering. So, Fritch, what do you think if you hear the word feminism? For me, feminism is an approach to women empowerment so that they can get back what they were once deprived of or once they were refused of before. And say, for example, the right to vote, they were once deprived of that. So yeah, basically feminism is all about equality.
What rights do men have that you don't have?
Well, for now, I can say that I think we are all or we are getting the equality that we want because we can do the things that men do.
Mhm.
and also man can do the things that we do. So basically, when we weigh those things, it sums up to equality. Equality is happening. Equality is really here right now in education,
Mhm.
in work, in politics. Yes, I can say that we are treating men and women equally.
Okay. So, Fritch, do you consider yourself a feminist?
For now, I'd say that I am a feminine.
You are a feminine. Okay. Let me give you a scenario. How about in the workplace?
Mhm.
There's a male coworker that would say, "Hey, Fritch, you look pretty today." Would you feel creeped out and you'll go to your boss and or to the HR personnel to report the guy?
Well, I've also experienced that, and based on my experience, no, I didn't get any violent reactions.
Okay.
Instead, I was flattered because
Okay.
yeah, it's important when a person or a man or even a woman gives compliment. It boosts your confidence. It boosts your self confidence, and it just makes my day.
Okay. Well, that's
Hmm. So, based on what this female stated, she's saying basically she is less likely to pass on a false Me Too accusation if a male coworker just does something that simply compliments her. Oh man. Okay. Interesting.
that's good because if it's really genuine
Yeah,
appreciation or yeah, you look
yeah, we
pretty
should be
today.
thankful.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah, we
that
should.
feels
We
good.
we don't know what a certain person is either having a bad day or a great day, and a simple compliment would just make everything seems better.
Right. Have you heard about microaggressions like men do things to get power over you, like cutting you off when you're talking? Have you experienced that in a way?
In a way, when we are like talking in a group
Okay.
and a certain man cuts me off when I'm talking,
Mm.
when I know that person, or let's just say I'm talking and he cuts me off, and I know that, oh yeah, he is talkative, so it's okay with me.
Okay, so it's
Yeah.
just his nature
I don't
to
take it
talk.
personally, or I don't react specifically when I know the person.
Oh yeah, yeah, okay, yeah, I get that because sometimes, yeah, I do have male
Yeah.
friends that they're just so talkative and they just wanna own the spotlight.
Yes,
But it's
yes.
not really an aggression; it's just the way they are.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, do you think that men's rights are equally important with women's rights?
Yeah, since we are talking about feminism and I've mentioned earlier equality, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when we say equality, it means equal. We should not focus only on the women's right, but also for the men's as well.
Mm-hmm.
Because if we only focus on the women's side, then we cannot say that we are up to equality.
Right. That's
So we
right.
should weigh both sides because we are talking about all genders here.
Right. So equality. So
Yep.
if you're trying to intimidate the
simple
other
as
one,
that.
then that's not equal.
True.
So okay. Have you heard about the gender wars in the West?
Yes, I've heard about that.
It's a shame, right? That they're treating their men that way. I mean,
Yeah, for those women who are treating their men less than they deserve, well, it's shameful.
yeah, I know, right?
Not most of them. Oh, I mean, not all of them, but
Mm.
some of them.
Right.
I think in this case, these two females are proving the point of passport bros and SYSBM to be correct when people within those groups speak about dating female American males dating females from other countries. So these two females are actually exemplifying what what passport bros and SYSBM and just other brothers have been saying all along, right? Because you hear these things when people, especially so-called black people on YouTube, especially so-called black Americans on YouTube, that talk about dating foreign females. They talk about how females overseas are just faking the funk. They're just marrying for a passport and all this other bullshit. But a lot of times we're hearing that from American people. But what is the perspective of the females in question who are born and raised outside of America? That's something interesting. I'll continue playing this video.
Okay, well, to wrap it up, do you think the Philippines is equal towards men and women? You think you're happy with our system?
With regards to the equality, yes, we have that one, and we just need to continue with what we are doing, continue with our um, insights of having an equal country, because that's what we deserve. Each one of us, men, women, whatever it is, we deserve equality. And if we want equality towards ourselves, then we should also show to others that we value them and we see their worth the same thing as the other people.
Right. Wow, that line can actually win you a crown as a Miss Universe, the future Miss Universe, Fritchie. Well, I really do appreciate your input and your thoughts on the matter. Thank you so much.
Also, thank you for this opportunity.
Well, thank you so much for agreeing to be interviewed today. And I have a few questions for you, if it's okay.
Yep.
Okay, so what does feminism mean to you?
Well, feminism means to me is equality.
Equality. What rights do men have that you don't have?
I mean, actually, I don't think so that there is a right for men that women doesn't have. It's very equal in here because not only boys can have a good education, not only boys can get a degree. So we can also get a degree here. We can have a position and a job. We can also, we can also decide for things.
Okay, yeah, because we also have female president as
Yeah.
well.
Now, of course, the scene changes where the same female called the Filipina P is interviewing another Filipina female and asking basically the same questions concerning feminism and what have you.
Right? I think we had two. So would you call yourself a feminist?
No, I am a feminine, but a feminist.
No. Yeah, we're feminine, but not feminists. Okay. So what about if a guy, like, random guy, opens up a door for you when you're entering a store or anywhere, what would you feel? Would you feel angry about it?
Well, no, I'm not going to feel angry. Why would I? It's a kind of respect that they want to give to you. So I also feel beautiful.
Yeah, we actually feel flattered if someone would open a door for us. I think it's a good thing. It's a good feeling that we're appreciated. Thank you so very much for your input. Thank you so much for agreeing to be interviewed, Miriam, right?
Yeah.
Tell me about yourself. A little bit about yourself.
Okay, I'm Yum Yum Kabaron. I'm also a YouTuber. Like, I'm a small YouTuber.
Okay, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yes. Thanks for having me here. I'm 22 years young, and I'm residing here in Negros Oriental.
Would you say that women here in the Philippines have the same rights as men?
Yes.
There's no...
In terms of leadership, there are men and women in a position of having the ability to lead. We all have the equality to have access to basic education, and then we all have the capacity and ability to be employed, men and women, in all different sorts of kinds of work and employment. There is men and women in whatever department you are in.
So how about men opening up a door for you? Would you feel angry because you can open your own door, or would you feel, okay, that's nice?
Yeah, I would feel the latter. I would be, I think that, oh, it's so kind to do this gesture, this bare minimum.
Yeah.
Like for opening the doors, the taxi's door, for example, or whatever, the restaurant's door or something. I would feel that, oh, he's so thoughtful that he would do this for me. Other men wouldn't do this for me.
Okay. Well, are you in a relationship?
No, I'm single as a Pringle.
Single as a Pringle. I like that. So, Yam, have you heard about microaggressions? Like men do little things to get power over you, like interrupting you when you're speaking. Have you heard about those?
No, I haven't heard about those. Just no.
Just now. Oh,
Yeah.
okay, so you never
Yeah, I've never
experienced or something like that.
just a chit chat. I don't think that I would call it a microaggression if he would want to interrupt, because maybe he's just really talkative and would want to be in that
Yeah,
in that conversation.
yeah,
So,
just like they can be annoying, but sometimes they're really just talkative and just want to be pick me, or like listen to what I'm about to say.
Yeah.
There are guys like that. So, do you think men's rights are also important, same as the women's rights?
Yes, men's rights are also equally important to women's rights, since we all know that there are men who have been abused by the opposite gender or their wives. If there are buttered women, there are also buttered men, and also sometimes their rights are violated. So yes, men's rights are equally important to women's rights.
I really
Thank you
do
very
appreciate
much.
your input, and thank you
Yes.
so much. And guys, check out her channel.
Yeah, that was an interesting take. That was an interesting take on the part of uh that female's video, the Filipina P. You know, it's So now you have, and it's like you have females who were born and raised in other countries making content speaking out on the perspective of females in their own country. It's funny. Now, some people might say that she's faking the funk, that she's only making these content to appeal to guys who wants to desperately, who searching for a foreign lover and what have you. But as of right now, these things are theories. You know, but that there's another video that she made that I'm searching for that I really wanted to show you guys. Shout out to her, by the way. She makes some interesting content. Let me see something. Hold on. Damn, my fault. Yeah, I was looking for this, man. Yo, what's going on, Lucy? What's going on? Yeah, I was looking for this video, man. Damn. I was looking for this video, but damn. There was another video I wanted you guys to see. God damn, I can't even find that shit. Man, damn. But anyway, it's funny how you got how you got females from these countries that a lot of the passport bros slash SYSBM gang speak up and make their content speaking up and giving their side of the story. You know, whether their stories are genuine or it's not, it's just very interesting. You know, but I did put the link to this female's YouTube channel in the video description box underneath this video, just in case you guys are interested. If you guys are interested in seeing her channel, watching her videos, you know. Damn. But anyhow, y'all have a good day. Peace.